you're not thinking in abundance. You're not thinking in abundance where you want to be. And if this is something you want to do, you need to take the leap of faith. And he gave me 30 minutes to make a decision, because if you keep doing the same things every single day, how are you going to live a different life? How are you going to live an extraordinary life if you keep doing the same things? You can't. It's impossible. Now opening my eyes and realizing that everything I visualize, I literally did, is absolutely insane to me. And the only reason and the lesson I was able to do this is because I believed I deserved it. My name is Mason Lewis, and I'm gonna be sharing how I went from a broke college student to making $65,000 in profit in a single month. And in this video, I'm basically just gonna lay out the steps, the blueprint, so you can do the exact same, and share with you my story, how I went from making $0 a month to having $500 in my bank account to making over 6 figures in profit in a single year while I was still in college and going to lectures. So to start everything off, I worked countless 9-to-5 jobs. I worked as a grocery bagger while I was still in high school. I worked that job for 2 weeks, realized I absolutely hated it, and I quit. And then after that, my next job was in college, and I worked at this overnight camp where I was a camp counselor to get in-state tuition for my college. And I did this for a whole summer, but while I was there, I realized I was destined for something more. I didn't know what it was exactly, and around that time when I started to just have these thoughts of pursuing online business or something where I could have full freedom and full control, I stumbled upon a lot of drop shipping videos. And back then, you could post a TikTok video and it would get millions of views for drop shipping. It was very lucrative. And at that point in time, I just had a vision pop in my mind that I'm going to make this work. I'm going to try this. I'm going to launch a store. I'm going to try selling drop shipping products, and I'm going to make this happen. So I got straight to it. After that first job as a summer camp counselor, I started looking on TikTok, trying to find other people who were doing this. And that's when I joined my first community online that basically taught me everything on how to start drop shipping, how to start selling products. I was going back to college my next year when I finally launched my first store. And I tested countless dozens of products just to find my first real winner. So I started with this swipe mist product where you basically spray this little swipe mist on your screen. First account, I got a couple thousand followers, no sales. I didn't know how to ship out the products, didn't know how to talk to suppliers. It was a failure, but in my mind, it was some momentum. And then my next product, guys, it was this basket bottle. It was basically this plastic water bottle where you could flick this little basketball, one you would see at like an arcade or carnival. And I ended up growing that page to over 150,000 organic followers on TikTok, but I made only $1,000. And that's because I didn't understand how to make the videos actually convert into sales. I would literally film around my college campus, filming in my apartment. I was grinding, and people would see me filming these TikTok videos in public, and I didn't care. And everything clicked when I was driving to Iowa, going on a road trip to visit one of my friends at college, and I heard the cha-ching. I heard the cha-ching for the first time. I looked down at my phone and I saw the Shopify sale. I saw the sale for $25. That changed my life. That one moment I had in Iowa where I saw my first sale, there was no turning back. Now after this, I got way more into drop shipping. I started reaching out to other TikTok accounts and seeing how they were able to go so viral. And I actually came in contact with one person selling this spinny UFO kind of toy object. And I reached out to him and I asked him, I'm like, listen, how are you making these incredible videos? And they basically told me about a community that he was a part of where they did live account reviews. I said, we have nothing to lose. Let's buy into this other course. So I bought into it, and first day, I got my videos reviewed and I got straight to it. And that's when I stumbled upon my next winner. It was the self-heating jacket. And this is when I hit my first 10K month, sophomore year in college, and it was life-changing. I was selling this jacket where you basically put it on and you could click a little button and it self-heats. I called it the Frost Jack. I would film videos of me recording. And the funny thing about this is when I was filming these drop shipping videos, my roommates at the time, they were good people, but They love to party, they love to drink, and they love to go out. And there was a huge disconnect, and it was extremely distracting. It made me persevere and it made me keep going, and I'm glad I did. If I would have given up because of these other people and the distractions and the loud noises and situations, I wouldn't be here sharing my story with you guys right now. So the lesson from this is you do not need to have everything figured out to get started. I most certainly didn't. All you need is to send one message, one DM, book one call, because you are literally one person away from completely changing your life, one product away, one video away. You need to fail dozens and dozens and dozens of times. And if you can take a W out of every failure, that will lead you to exactly where you're supposed to go. Another key lesson here is you need to keep staying curious. A lot of people don't follow that innate curiosity that they have inside. That's where you're supposed to go, and that's what I did. So when I was selling these self-heated jackets, I ran into many issues because it was around December when I hit my first $10,000 month, was doing millions of views, but nobody told me that people could refund the product. I was a clueless college student shipping out these self-heating jackets from some Chinese website. I didn't know any better. So I got hundreds of emails of people asking for refunds because they got the wrong sizes delivered to them, asking for refunds because it's been 3 weeks since their order has come. So I lost all the money I made. I was left with like $500 in profit, probably. That taught me a very valuable lesson, is that this whole drop shipping thing is harder than people make it out to be online, right? I thought that you could just go viral, ship the product out, and you don't have to worry. I was doing all the marketing. I made my own websites. It's in the times where everything's easy, where things are coming to you, that doesn't make you a strong person, right? It's in those hard times where you're doing everything in the business, where you're managing everyone, talking to everyone, that's gonna make you into the person worthy of being able to run a 6-figure a month business, etc. Don't look at these hard struggles and times as something that's actually holding you back. Matter of fact, that's when you're growing the most as a person, is when you're going through those resilient, hard times. That's when you're becoming the best version of yourself. But the main mistake and the lesson I want to give all of you here is that views do not equal sales. I was getting millions of views on TikTok, getting hundreds and thousands of followers, but I wasn't making more than $100,000 a month. I wasn't even making $10,000 a month in profit. And the reason for this is because views do not equal sales. Now, this is where things really started to take off. I decided to work another summer at the same camp I was talking about previously. I was in charge of 50 plus kids at a single time, and it was one of the most stressful experiences of my life. So 2 weeks into the job, I quit. I literally quit 2 weeks into the job, went back home to Chicago. This is one of the lowest periods of my life. I found out my dad was super sick, dealing with health issues, so I wanted to go home to be there for him, and this was a big part of why I went home. But when things really started to change after this is when I was back home. I quit my job, I was seeing my dad, I was working on these theme pages. I started reading this book called The Secret. And if you don't know what The Secret is, I highly recommend it. It's a manifesting book talking about how to change your life, how to become a completely different person. And the reason that I read The Secret was because of Conor McGregor. He talks about how he read this book and how he would visualize before his fights, him knocking out his opponents with the exact specific sequence. It was absolutely insane, and he became one of the best in the world. And after I started reading this book and really becoming in tune with the power of our subconscious minds and just visualizing my future over and over, that's exactly when my life changed. I decided to go back to my college on a little road trip, and I was introduced to a program that would help me make all the money I made with TikTok Shop. And it was very early. This was before TikTok Shop existed. I booked a sales call to join this program, and this was before TikTok Shop existed. And basically you get paid to make videos for brands by just posting TikTok videos. So this program was launched and I booked a call. And at this time, I only had $500 to my name in my bank account. I'll be completely honest. And the program was $2,000. And I'm on the sales call, trembling, not wanting to spend this money, and my old mentor basically says, "You're not thinking in abundance. You're not thinking in abundance where you want to be, and if this is something you want to do, you need to take the leap of faith." And he gave me 30 minutes to make a decision. So hang up the call, 30 minutes in, they send me a payment link for $500. I make the payment. Once I was in this program, I started to get brand deals to make videos for brands on TikTok. And bear in mind, this was before TikTok Shop existed. This was before all this was on the platform. I made over $3,000 my first month from brand deals alone because these companies were willing to pay me thousands of dollars because I've already done tens of millions of views with drop shipping from before, like I was telling you about. So this was a big jump. Long story short, I promoted over 10 different brands through this community. I was doing ice cream cones. I was doing fitness products. I was doing supplements, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on TikTok. But the problem was I was only making money from the retainers and the brands. I wasn't really going that viral, so I wasn't breaking past this 5K a month point. The lesson you need to take away from this is you need to invest in yourself. There's no better investment you can make in business than investing in yourself and investing in some sort of group or community with people who have already experienced the success and are ahead of you. And you can either pay for things with your money or you can pay for things with your time. So if you want to speed and expedite the process up to your success, number one, get around people that have already seen success more than you've seen. Number two, invest in yourself, not just in your work, but in your health, in your fitness, in your mind, by reading, doing all these other things. And number three, just take massive action every single day. Because if you keep doing the same things every single day, how are you going to live a different life? How are you going to live an extraordinary life if you keep doing the same things? You can't. It's impossible. Now, this next part of the journey is when things get really crazy. Now, November 24th, 2023, I posted my first TikTok Shop video. And during this time, you could literally film your computer screen talking about how a product was more expensive on a different website and how you can get it cheaper on TikTok Shop. And I would film 10 videos a day. And my first day filming a video, I woke up the next morning to over $300 in sales. In the morning, I woke up to that. And that was insane for me. Seeing that money come in so quick by working so little, it made me realize how high leverage of a business TikTok Shop was at the time. And since I was very early, I doubled down on the style. I kept posting 10 videos a day that whole month. And that first month, I did $10,000 in profit off TikTok Shop. And that's when I saw more money enter my bank account than ever before because I was doing something different than 99% of people were doing. Nobody knew about TikTok Shop yet. I was one of the first. So I kept posting every single day. I was selling car accessory products where I'd film my computer screen. I was selling supplements. I was selling protein powders. I would literally go into stores, film these products, and make 10 videos and post them all the same day. But then I was also introduced to another content style known as slideshows. Now, if you don't know what slideshows are on TikTok, it's basically static images like this where you could swipe and people could see all the different photos. Think about it like Instagram. I went extremely viral with one supplement, doing tens of millions of views again. And this brand, the owner was very generous, paid me massive bonuses. And this was another 10K month. So I was making money off TikTok Shop. I was making money off slideshows. Life was picking up. I was starting to see success. I was starting to build momentum. Things were getting good. Now, around this time, I also met this other Spanish creator named Luis, who was promoting this supplement I was also promoting. And he gave me so much help in my videos. We would literally go back and forth in the DMs because he was crushing it, but he was still willing to give me his time and day to give me advice on my videos, on stories that I could use. And I started to go pretty viral with this same product and able to do some decent numbers while I was in college. And that took me to the next level again with TikTok. But I'm not gonna lie, I still felt very unfulfilled during this journey. I didn't feel a purpose making these videos day in and day out. This was when I prayed to God one night. I asked him for a sign. And bear in mind, on my vision board, I have a photo of one of my dream cars, my old dream car, which was a green Lamborghini Urus. And I prayed to God just for some sign that he was there with me. That next day on my college campus, it was 9 p.m. at night. I was walking to get food. I see a green Lamborghini Urus driving around the street on my college campus. And I was like, wow, this is a sign from God. So when I go in to get food and I come back, I see the green Lamborghini again, 2 times. And I could literally feel God, a voice talking to me. And this is a true story. I get in my car to drive home, but for some reason, I'm hearing this voice from God telling me to drive into this parking garage and drive to the rooftop randomly. So I drive into this parking garage. I drive up 4 stories, 5 stories, 6 stories. At the top of the parking garage, 10 p.m. at night, the guy was looking over on the balcony. The green Lamborghini was parked. I have goosebumps literally coming up while I talk about this because it was the most clear-cut message from God, and I could hear his voice. And I went up to the guy and asked his story, and he told me how he dropped out of college to pursue business. And he owns car rentals in Miami and Florida and all over. And I told him that I believe God brought me to him. I told him that to his face, and I showed my computer screen of my green Lamborghini vision board. And you know what he told me? He said, our company is built off God and using our hands because he also has a roofing company. That was the moment I realized God is real and God is within all of us. And he was talking to me, and I felt this omnipresence all around me, extremely strong. And that pushed me to keep going and realizing there is purpose and there is another path for me that is still yet to come. So I basically spent the rest of this year doing TikTok shop, making videos for products, going viral. I was doing consistent 8 to 10K profit months all throughout this year. And because of this, I was able to study abroad in college, pay for the whole trip myself, and even take my mom out and fly her to Italy to travel around the world, see some of the most beautiful places in the world because of the money I made from TikTok shop, the online space. Before this trip, when I was studying abroad, I used to visualize with my eyes closed, me being at the Amalfi Coast, me being in Italy, and me seeing the most incredible views of my life. Now opening my eyes and realizing that everything I visualized, I literally did, is absolutely insane to me. And the only reason and the lesson I was able to do this is because I believed I deserved. The lesson I take away from this is you only get what you deserve out of life. No, fuck that. And the lesson I want you to get from this is you only get what you think you deserve out of life. Life will always give you what you believe you are worthy of receiving. Consistency compounds. You're not going to see the results in one day, maybe 1 week or 1 month, but in over a year, if you keep showing up every single day, your life will completely change. Outside looking in, it looks like the big months come from one video, but the reality is they come from months and months of hard work, and all you see is that overnight success. So more volume actually creates more luck for yourself. Putting in more reps, showing up more and more every day, you create your own luck. Now, this next part of my story, I want to talk about the importance of living in abundance, because I made some massive shifts before I hit my really big month, but I didn't tell anyone what I did the month before. So I made 3 big investments before I hit that 65K month because I want to start acting like the version of me who already had it before it happened. So all in 1 month, I bought a new MacBook Air, I bought new AirPod Max headphones, and I got a new American Express card. And another thing I did, I literally called PayPal. I called my bank and said, hey, I'm gonna need you guys to raise my monthly withdrawal limit to $50,000 because I have a lot of money coming in and I want to make sure the money doesn't get frozen or put on hold. That's a true story. So after I did that, I'm also very big on journaling. And if you're not journaling, guys, you need to be journaling. This will change your life. So I wrote in my journal, I'm going to attract the one product that changes my life and do over $100,000 in sales. And I even recorded this video before I hit my big month saying this. And so I started promoting a new product randomly while I was in college my senior year. And with this product, everything changed. I was promoting these nasal sticks. I posted a TikTok shop video, and the next day I woke up to $1,000 in sales in the morning. I haven't seen that in a very long time. And I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? Bear in mind, with these videos, I would film in my bathroom because my roommates were pretty loud. They were awesome. I love them. And I believe this was all signs from God. I would have never decided to film in my bathroom and change the way I talked if it wasn't for that experience. The next day, I hit a $27,000 day and made over $8,000 in profit. And I can remember that day like it was yesterday. I was posting TikTok shop videos, filming in my bathroom, and I woke up at 9 a.m. I was already over 9K in sales at 9 a.m. And I was like, wow, this is gonna be a life-changing day. And at that moment, that's when my belief system unlocked. And my relationship with money has changed forever. That whole month, I was coasting at $10,000 to $15,000 days. I didn't tell anyone in school. I was sitting in my lecture halls in the back, swiping and looking at my sales. I literally have videos of me in the classroom, and I ended that month at over $65,000 in profit in my bank account while I was still in college. And my life changed completely from that moment. Your identity needs to change before your income changes. You need to become the type of person worthy of making 50, 60K a month before the money comes in. I wanted the money while I was still the identity of a person making 10K a month. A lot of you guys may be wanting the money too quick. And if you stay patient and focus on becoming the type of person who is consistent, posting every day, the money will eventually follow. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, because I was already making so many videos. It wasn't until I started investing in journaling, writing my goals down, going to the gym, I literally became a different person. So for all you guys watching this, invest in yourself and the money will follow, and you will become the type of person worthy of making the money you want to be making. The more you invest in yourself, the more you invest in your skill set, the more value you give to people, the more money will come back. Now, if you found this story inspiring or want to learn more about what I actually do, I'm going to leave a bunch of links below in the description. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.